All right, hey, what's going on, guys? If you guys are not in Florida and you're somewhere else, if you haven't heard, we're expecting another hurricane, and this one is more of like it's more about the storm surge, the water and the flooding. That's what they're really concerned about. We're expecting that, but while we're expecting that, I still have to work. Still have to bills got to be paid. They still, every day that goes by, bills are coming, so on and so forth. So we're still repairing some stuff. So what we have today is a PS5, and this PS5, like most PS5s, have the same problem. Um, HDMI port. That's what it looks like right now. It's really, really bad. This HDMI port. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna replace it. Um, and I think the replacement should fix it because I can see damage. Usually, when you can't see the damage, you want to try other things, but I can clearly see what's the damage on the HDMI port, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace it. All right, so let's go over my desk and work. Just moving stuff around. We might fix a few other, might do a few other repairs while we're here, because I do have a list of repairs that need to be done. I'd like to get some of these devices back to the customers before the whole thing starts up. That way, I'm not responsible for them because if it starts flooding, then it's going to be real bad. I don't know if there's anyone here that's in Florida also that's preparing for this thing. A lot of people have already left. If whether they go to stay at a hotel or they completely left the state or just go further north, a lot of people have got up and trying to get away from it. I don't blame them, but I have my parents are here, and if something happens, I got to get to them. And we got a lot of family here. Kind of together comes down to this kind of stuff. I don't even remember of this screw. Gotten all the screws out. what I like to do in mission is I leave all the screws in and I just kind of put that off to the side, the top off to the side. If I don't have the room to do it, I don't do it, but usually that's the way I like to do it. Top off. So put the top back on when I'm done just by picking it up and just popping it on there. All right, so let's continue here. I want to see, well, I'm going to assume that the PS5 Pro probably has way more screws. I think they actually sold out. I double check that. Not sold out. I think the price on them was. I still might get one just to tear down video. Because I don't see any other reason why I should buy one, but otherwise, from a down video, looking, making sure that I'm not yanking this thing out and there's a screw holding it. I caught myself doing that a few times. So that's not right. And just these screws, and then we can start working on my board. I am going to turn on my soldering iron, even though I don't think I'm going to need it. I'm still going to turn it on just to have it ready. One more screw right here. Turn this around. I'm going to use this instead. So we got that board out of the housing. Now we can take a look and yeah, this thing is bad. You can see plastic right here. Okay, all right, no problem. We'll just go ahead and replace this. Temperature set. I'm gonna grab a new HDMI port. I have so many HDMI ports consoles that it's all right. So let's go ahead and let's put some plugs and have my Weller soldering iron turned on. Put this out. Have some flux down on there. That should be good. Looking for my tweezer. Okay, found it. And let's go ahead and let's add some heat to the top of this board first. And underneath, here we go. We got an old one out. Plus it's a hot swap. We just put here. Okay. Underneath the microscope, and let's see how it looks. Then we can decide what's the next step from here once we see it underneath the microscope. That's what it looks like underneath the microscope. And that looks just like came straight from the factory. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do some touching up on some of these pins because I can see that one that was already moving. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, while the board is still warm, I'm gonna go ahead and touch up these pins, right? But so I think I'm gonna move this hose that I use for, yeah, we're gonna have to move that hose. It's not ideal because it keeps getting in the way of the microscope being over more on the desk, really interfering with my work. And it kind of messes up my workflow, to be honest with you. Plus, I have to constantly like lift the okay with this big. I'll use it, transfer over to all of these. I mean, you see, so with my experience, I'm not worried about a blob. Most people here in experience, they would, freak out because there's a solder blob there, and they wouldn't know what to do. But I've learned how to overcome this, not overcome, but how to deal with having the blob like this. Okay, so that looks good. So now let's deal with that blob. How would we deal with that blob? Easy, like this. Flux, same soldering iron, like that. Got most of it. I'm just gonna cut off that little piece right there. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing again. I'm just gonna take my pick more time. Okay, and one more time. Because I still have a little small smidget of bridging right here. Okay, that looks clean. So let me turn on this other light. You guys can see that now. Let's clean up. So first thing I want to do is get the heat gun or my hot air station and warm up the general area. And then if I can find alcohol right here, or and what we got. Have the smallest amount of melting on the plastic, which is okay. Not not a deal breaker. I'm just checking that the pins are all not moving. And if you struggle with doing it this way, you can add solder to the pins before actually put the add solder to the HDMI pin, to my port pins on the back side before you put it on here, and that will also help a good contact. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm still going to use some of this flux remover. just like that. And come back in with my toothbrush again. And then because I don't want any of that leftover from that flux remover, I add some alcohol. Brush that away. And here we go. Little ported soldering on this side. Let's uh let's cover over those holes a little bit right here. I don't like the way they look. So some flux and our soldering iron. And that's what you want to kind of see is like that. And leave some parts of the pin sticking out, but that's up to you. But realistically, what you want to see is that little, not hill, but that kind of dome shape. Like that. That's good. And realistically, you do want it to be shiny like that one. So that's what you're going for, is that shiny dome that looks like fresh solder. Because this right here, now this one is shiny. Well, you can't see that, but you really want it to look shiny. Like that. You want that shiny look. Then on this side, if you look, like this hole over here filled. So on this side, I'm gonna keep going back and forth with my iron until I kind of get. You know what? Fine. We're not gonna go all crazy with it. No need. There's no need to go all crazy because it's gonna work. And let's go ahead and let's put these back in. Start putting this thing back together. Well, we'll test it. and we can test it, but let's go ahead and just put a few more on here that we know that. So, I mean, we only just need to turn it on for a few seconds just to get an image. Once we get an image, good. I have to go crazy. Okay, and let's test for an image, and then we can move on. Okay, so we have image. We're good. Yep. So we have a picture on the screen. Okay. So we do have a picture. We are good. Let's go ahead and let's put this thing back together. Okay. All right. So we have that back on. Let's put the cover on. Let's put our sticker on. Okay. One sticker. Uh, if I turn it this right now, I'm struggling with plugging in. Oh, so as long as I sit right, place all these screws, should be okay. Yeah. And we can also put our fan back in place. Plug it up. And then we can pop this on. Okay, and that. Now all of our screws, metal, plastic, plastic. And I've talked about this before in a video. If you guys didn't watch that video, there is a difference in the plastic screws and the metal screws. Metal screws have a the threading on them is a lot smaller than the threading on the plastics. That's how you can tell the difference. And so we'll put a sticker over this also. And we don't have the top cover for it, so that's the only thing. Don't have it. Trying to put it somewhere that's not right in front of the customer's face. There we go. Okay, and that's done. Okay, so we have a PS4 here also that I need to work on. And what's going on with it is this power button is actually stuck in. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna back off. Don't have to take the hard drive out. A lot of bug droppings, dead roaches. So I'm gonna take this out and clean it up a little bit before I continue. Okay, then. Yeah. All right, so let's work on this cover because that's where the problem is inside this cover. And it's right inside this plastic. Let's see. I have a little file here that I can kind of. You'll see if I can find it. What also would be good is if you have a Dremel. A Dremel will do good here also. I don't have a Dremel, so but I did. I think I just tore it all up, and I haven't looked for it again. But file right here with me because I used that thing a lot more than I thought I would, so I kept it around. If not, you have an old pair of soldering iron. You can use that also. It helps the edge and clean it up a little bit. I don't have an iron like that right now, so I'm gonna try my best to find this file that I filed on the edge. I thought I was doing good with putting up the file, but I guess not. Thought I had been putting it in a pretty good spot. But I think that's what I'm figuring out right now, that I haven't been doing such a good job of putting it away. So now I'm having to deal with that, finding it because I don't put it away properly. But it's not even about putting it away properly, just putting it in a place that you can find it when you need it. Instead, I just kind of throw things around. And when I'm looking for them, because my eyes is not focused on just one thing, I'm just looking at a bigger picture. It's hard for me to find what I'm looking for. This really stinks right now. Okay, all right. So then for now, we can't find what we're looking for. My blade. Can't even find my blade right now. My blade. Try to put my blade up also, but I guess I haven't been putting anything back where they go. All right. Well, I guess for now we'll just use. And all I'm doing is just taking off some of the plastic. And that way the button can sit properly can be pressed and I don't have any issues. Okay. I don't know if I have a top or a bottom cover that I could possibly take that button out of. We do have one. So we have a button here, black, but it's okay. We'll use this one instead. I could replace the whole cover, and that would definitely fit. But hey, that's a lot better. All right, so now let's look on the console. Let's make sure that we don't have the actual tab missing. Nope. So the tab is still there on the console. That's good. Yep, and that's lining up perfect. Now let's test this console. And that seems good. Button press works. Okay, system software. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We're getting a system software error. Maybe the hard drive is corrupted. All right, let's see what's happening now. Blue light, white light. Rebuild database and see what happens. But I think the hard drive might be dead, and that's what we're seeing here. The dead hard drive. Yeah, so I think the hard drive might be bad. Let's we're gonna rebuild the we just redid rebuild the database. Let's initialize or factory reset it and see what happens. And then that's gonna be it. Because we still gotta get ready. I gotta go put on some storm shutters and stuff like that. Help my parents put storm shutters on. So we still have a few things to do. Okay. The hard drive was taking some time to read, so yeah, I think the hard drive is dying. It's not dead yet, but it's getting there. All right, and that's it, guys. I think we've uh, fixed the issue with this PS4. The power button now works great. Everything seems great on it. We'll return this. So we got both of those consoles done for today. We have a laptop, a MacBook, other things to do. But like I said, I have some. I have to go help my parents put up storm shutters and get ready. So I really appreciate you guys for watching. Um, hit a like button, subscribe. Thanks for stopping in.